following is a production of Learfield Sports.
This copyrighted telecast is the property of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, an affiliate of Learfield Sports, LLC, under rights granted by the University of Maine. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other dissemination or use of this telecast or any part of it without the express written consent of Black Bear Sports Properties, LLC, is prohibited. This legal disclaimer is brought to you by Lanham, Blackwell & Baber, proud supporter of the Black Bears. If you have any legal questions, visit them at lanhamblackwell.com. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Black Bear Insider. I'm your host, Brian Sullivan, and we've got a great show on tap for you this week. We're going to talk Maine women's basketball as they prepare for the conference tournament. Head coach Richard Barron stops by, as does the team's lone senior, Courtney Anderson. We'll talk about a long road to arrive to where they are now. We'll also talk about Scott Merrill, a track and field athlete who is extending his talents beyond the playing field and going to medical school. It's a heartwarming story, and speaking of heartwarming stories, we'll catch up with the Maine women's ice hockey team who have opened up their arms to the community. A little girl named Maggie invited to join the squad, sitting on the bench with him during a recent game. Plus, we'll have a little fun. We're going to talk a little talent that some of these players and athletes have that don't exist on the court. A talent show, all to raise money for the American Cancer Society. This you don't want to miss. Plus, look at the U.S. Cellular upcoming schedule. This is the Black Bear Insider. The Black Bear Insider is brought to you by Lanham, Blackwell & Baber, U.S. Cellular, UMaine Recreation and Fitness Center, Fisher Plows, Maine Savings Federal Credit Union, EBS Building Supplies, and Digital Workshop.
Welcome to U.S. Cellular.
My family of 4 would like to switch to your best plan ever.
You know you don't actually need 4 people to get our best plan pricing.
Oh.
You can connect anywhere between 2 to 6 devices, and we'll pay off your old contract.
We'll just take the 2 lines then for a phone and a tablet.
So, how long you been married?
Switch and get 2 lines and 8 gigs for just $100. A better value than Verizon and AT&T. Plus, we'll pay off your old contract. U.S. Cellular.
No matter what your game is, indoors or out, the Student Recreation and Fitness Center at the University of Maine is your place to play, work out, relax, and have fun. The Rec Center has state-of-the-art cardio and weight training equipment, a pool, spa, and sauna, a running track, and more than 60 fitness classes a week. Or take your game outside with the Maine-bound Adventure Center. Hit the climbing or bouldering wall, learn how to kayak, or go rock climbing. Whatever game you like, the Student Recreation and Fitness Center is your place to play.
In case you're wondering, it's the Fisher Extreme V, taking snowplow efficiency to a whole new level.
Welcome back to the Black Bear Insider, now joined by Maine women's basketball coach Richard Barron. Coach, thank you very much for being here. It's an exciting time to be a fan of the Maine women's basketball team, and I'm sure to be the head coach of the Maine women's basketball team. It's been a long road to travel to get to where you currently are.
Yeah, it's been a process that's taken 4 years, and a lot of people have contributed to it and worked really hard. At the same time, you kind of catch us at an awkward time because we kind of believe that you're only as good as your last game, and our last game was our worst game of the year. So we picked a bad time to really lay an egg, and so we're not a very happy bunch right now. We're a little difficult to be around as coaches, a little difficult to be around as players. That's not all bad. It's kind of motivating us. We had a really tough practice yesterday. But, kind of big picture, yeah, we've come a long way.
Now, I know, heard you say that you don't think that there's much to learn from a loss. There is a lot to learn from a loss, but you don't buy into the thought that it's humbling and things like that. You think you're only as good as your last game, as you just mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to lose a game to learn a lesson. We should have known to play better than we did. It shouldn't take a loss to teach us that. I don't think there's anything good that comes from losing. I think that we've got to take what we learned from it and turn it into a positive. That's after the fact. The bottom line is we played a terrible game at UNH and we got our butts kicked. So we're going to have to come out and play much better if we're going to beat anybody in this tournament.
Now, having said that, out of your last 15 games, you go 14-1. It's a pretty good record, and now you've earned the right to be the top seed in your conference tournament. Talk to me about what that entails.
Well, it's a grind. It's a long season, and we did have a nice streak there. I think that, to be honest, we weren't playing well at the end. We weren't playing our best basketball even when the wins were continuing. I think our game at Vermont was indicative of that. We played decent basketball for spurts against UMBC and Binghamton, but we by no means were dominant in those games. So, I think this has been kind of been building for a while. We had lost a little bit of our edge as the wins continued. And so, this is a little bit of Rocky III for us right now, kind of getting back to, what made us special, what, we've thrived on being the underdog and not the ones with a target on our back. We need that, again, to use the phrase, the cliche from the movie, the eye of the tiger.
Sure. Getting geared up for Clever Lang.
Exactly. So we were back in here yesterday, beating the crap out of them with pads and making them dive on the floor and very intense rebounding drills and things like that, because that's just the edge that we need. And as the season gets long, it's sometimes hard to keep doing that, just wear and tear on the body. But we needed that yesterday, and we're going to do it again today.
Now you talk about wear and tear on the body, and really I think that lends itself to the tournament style of play, where in the America East, once you get in the conference schedule, you play 2 games a week for the most part, unless you come across your bye. Now you're going to go back-to-back and really just trying to fight to get another home game at the Cross Center. Right.
Well, we get to play, the advantage of being the number 1 seed is that we get to play the number 8 seed on their home floor this year. So that's the way it worked out. So we play Binghamton, and it's a team that we've beaten twice, a team that we know we can beat again, but they're not going to lay down for us. We're going to have to go out and really give a good effort, and then we get to play if we win, the winner of UNH in Hartford, and that's going to be a tough matchup for us, no matter who it is. And I guess there's a little part of us that wants to get UNH again because we want to redeem ourselves. But last year Hartford beat us in overtime in the first round, or the quarterfinals of the tournament at Albany, and so we have a little bit of payback that we feel like we owe them as well. So either one will be a matchup that I think will have us motivated. It'll come down to execution and effort. And I hope that we learned a lot from the way we performed on Sunday. And if you were able to come away with 2 wins from the weekend and able to host that one final home game, it would be an accomplishment in and of itself. Absolutely. I'd love to get back here to the Cross Center one more time, but we play well at home. Our defense has been really good at home. We've had a couple of losses this year. Both were decided in the final seconds. With Sacred Heart and Albany. I think we can get back here and play most likely an Albany or Stony Brook team, where we can play in front of a great crowd and try to win a championship again. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck. I know the entire region is behind you. It's a very exciting squad, and we hope to see you again in person one more time this season. Now we're going to turn things over to Athletic Director Carlton Creech in this week's episode of Carlton's Corner.
We're happy to announce 2 great non-conference games for 2015 on the road. We're going to be traveling to Boston College, which is a normal stop for us, but we're adding a new opponent, Tulane. So we'll be traveling to New Orleans. Should be a great cultural and game day experience for our student athletes. We're really looking forward to that trip.
She's Maine women's basketball team's lone senior. Courtney Anderson has been through a lot in her 4 years here at the University of Maine. We'll talk to her when we come back on the Black Bear Insider.
You support your Black Bears at the game. Now, you can support them everywhere you go. Introducing the exclusive Black Bear debit card only at Maine Savings. The Black Bear debit card is free to you and supports the Black Bear Fund each time you use your card for a purchase. Just open a Red Wallet account at Maine Savings. Stop into our new College Avenue branch or any of our other convenient branches. Show your pride. Make a difference. The exclusive Black Bear debit card only at Maine Savings.
EBS Building Supplies knows time is the most valuable resource you have. That's why they offer free delivery anywhere in their service area. Fast, convenient, and free. That's the EBS way. So whether you're a professional contractor or a do-it-yourself homeowner, no delivery is too small or too big, and custom ordering is always available. Use EBS free delivery to make your life easier and your home improvement project complete faster. EBS Building Supplies. Can do. Just ask.
How's that 4G LTE? Hold on. You sure you got service? Yeah, I've got US Cellular. Okay, here it is. Pretend you're a tree.
US Cellular built coverage way out here, so you can search the web in a pinch.
I can't believe the tree thing worked. What was your backup plan? To outrun you.
4G LTE towers where you don't expect it. National coverage where you most need it. US Cellular.
Welcome back to the Black Bear Insider, now joined by Maine women's basketball's lone senior, Courtney Anderson. Courtney, thank you very much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's a very exciting time to be on the Maine women's basketball team. I want to first start by going back. Let's start 4 years ago, where you don't even go to the conference tournament. And now here we are. Times certainly have changed.
Yeah, I mean, my freshman year we went, and we actually had a pretty good showing. We won our play-in game against Stony Brook, and then we almost beat BU, the 1 seed in the game after. And then our second year didn't go so hot, and we didn't end up going to the tournament. And so now to be here and get this opportunity to go in as the 1 seed and hopefully go in and just have a good showing in the tournament, we're really excited about it.
And even before we get to where we are now, 2 years ago, the infamous bus crash. You know, you've certainly been through a few times here at Orono.
Yes, definitely. It's been interesting, my 4 years here, to say the least, but we're ending on a high note.
And the lone senior on this squad, give me a little rundown of the makeup of your team.
We just have a very competitive group. We get along very well, and our team is a genuine team. Everybody's effort, whether it's in practice or on the bench in the games or on the court, it all matters to us. And I think that my teammates value each and everybody on this team.
Sure. Out of the gate, a few stumbles, took a while to get it going, but then once you got a little head of steam, it really started firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, we started off very slow. I think it took us a while to figure out how to play without Ashley Roberts, and what our go-to things were going to be on offense without her. And just defensively, we didn't start off the season very well either. So once our defense started clicking, the shots started falling, and we were fine. And now we would have wished to go into the tournament with a win, but we're refocusing this week and just trying to get back our edge.
But even to go, 14-1 in your final 15 games, it's nothing to sneeze at.
No, we hadn't felt that feeling of a loss in a long time that we felt on Sunday. And no one, I'm not a believer that you need to lose in order to refocus. I think that's not necessarily true at all. But we definitely needed a chance to refocus and gain our edge back, and we're hoping to do that this week in practice.
And now you focus into something which I guess is similar, but a little bit different in the conference style of play, the tournament game, the survive and advance mentality.
Oh, definitely. Tournament, this group has only experienced it one time, the juniors with me, because their freshman year we got in the bus crash and didn't go. And so last year when we lost to Hartford in overtime, that was a rough loss for everybody. I mean, for Ashley Roberts and Allison Alavica, it wasn't something that we wanted to end their career with. So this year, we've had some experience, and hopefully that will help us. But just the fact that there's nowhere to go, you can only win. So there's nothing that you can lose except for the game. And me and my teammates understand that, and I think that we're trying to portray that kind of mentality in practice this week.
That whole regular season now behind you, and really just a couple games to focus on, and trying to get one more home game, right?
One more home game we're hoping for. We've got a lot of work ahead of us before then. First, Binghamton in the conference tournament, and that's the only game that matters right now, so that's what we're focusing on.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. And
Thank you.
Now, we're not done with Courtney yet. A few weeks ago, all to raise money for the American Cancer Society, student athletes here in Orono held a talent show. Needless to say, it's pretty entertaining. Take a look.
So you stepping in our house, you better be prepared, because you're about to be in a fight with them black bears.
I wanted to do this event for American Cancer Society. They're a great organization. They do a really lot of great work here. As a Feel Like a Team, we had earlier done fundraising for them, for the American Cancer Society, and we just thought we would continue on that trend. There are quite a few girls that are athletes that are on that committee at the university, so it just seemed like a good link.
Then in first place, very original dance performance with the glow sticks. Our women's softball team, would y'all please come up and accept the trophy?
We knew we were going to do great because we are a talented bunch. So then we started looking at ideas and saw this online that other teams had done, and we thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't want to say a last minute type of thing, but we really only spent like 2 days really getting after it. But I think after practice and everything kind of helped us, and we just had to push through it, and I don't know, I just had a bunch of fun up there.
Yeah,
that was really it.
Tonight's show raised $1,716, so thank you.
I'm very grateful, and on behalf of the American Cancer Society, this is amazing. This is just a check that we don't receive very often in this amount. So thank you very much to the Athlete Advisory Committee, and look forward to coming back and watching you next year and watching all this great talent.
When I see your face.
When we come back, a story you do not want to miss. The Maine women's ice hockey team giving one little girl a memory that will last forever. That's when the Black Bear Insider returns.
Hey Black Bear fans, my name is Steve Blackwell with Lanham, Blackwell & Baber, and this is Compliance Corner, where we help you understand some of the most commonly misunderstood NCAA rules and regulations that affect our Black Bear athletes and program. Today, I'd like to talk to you about NCAA amateurism guidelines. An individual loses amateur status when they use his or her athletic skill directly or indirectly for pay in any form in that sport, accepts a promise to pay even if it is received after completion on intercollegiate athletics participation, signs a contract or commitment of any kind to play professional athletics, receives a salary, reimbursement of expenses, or other financial assistance from a professional sports organization based upon athletic skills or participation, competes on any professional athletics team, even if no compensation for expenses was received, enters a professional draft prior to initial full-time collegiate enrollment, or enters into an agreement with an agent. Student athletes have very specific conditions placed on maintaining their amateur status. So if you ever have any questions about this or any other compliance questions, feel free to contact the Black Bear Compliance Office at 207-581-1537 or visit goblackbears.com/information/compliance. This has been Compliance Corner, brought to you by Lanham, Blackwell, and Baber.
There have been countless UMaine student athletes who have used what they've done on the field to springboard into careers after their college years. Scott Merrill is no different. Long having plans to be an orthopedic surgeon, even before he came to the University of Maine, he's now parlayed what he's done here as an athlete into a professional career.
For me, track and field was just something I tried in high school. My goal was just to get faster for football, so for my senior year. So I started doing outdoor track as a junior. Turns out it worked out pretty well, so I did the indoor and outdoor season as a senior. Talked to the UMaine coaches, they encouraged me to try out, so I came out, made the team, and then 4 years later, here I am. For me, my primary focus once I come into UMaine as a student was always to put myself in the best position to be able to go to medical school at the end of my 4-year experience here. So academically speaking, that's just been about excelling in my classes to the best of my ability, and then in terms of work, putting myself in a position to work with other students to kind of revisit the material that I've already learned to improve my understanding of the content. And the best way to do that was just be able to teach others in that aspect. So,
what kind of cells are bacteria? Prokaryotic. And what do prokaryotic cells lack?
Scott and I have met when he was a first year, into his second year. He had expressed an interest in going to Tufts Medical School very early on, and so we worked together to kind of lay out a plan. I look at his application process as being very much just developing a strategic plan and saying, okay, we know where you are right now, we know where you want to go. How do we build that bridge? He certainly has athletics, and I encouraged him to move to leadership, get some leadership skills, which he has done very successfully, getting involved in research, getting involved in the community service. The Health Professions Program works with all students who have any interest at all. If they say, I'm interested in going into being a physician, a dentist, optometrist, any one of these healthcare positions. We have a Health Professions Club that they can be involved in. We have a mentor program that allows them to shadow with professionals in their field of interest. There are many occupations, over 300 occupations in healthcare. So we want to determine, is this really how they want to spend their career and preparing.
I work for hundreds and hundreds of hours every year just trying to shave hundredths, tenths of a second off my time just to get a little faster. So I mean, when you're putting in all that time just for these small, non-guaranteed returns, it's the same kind of appreciation you get for academics. You got to put in as much time as you possibly can to get any improvement you can get. Hopefully it's a little more significant than the tenths of a second I'm trying to pull off in track, but that mindset and that mentality has put me in a good position academically to pursue my goals and ultimately achieve them.
So a lot of graduate programs don't necessarily know how much effort our athletes put into their sport to be successful, and I think it's really helpful. I love our coaches are very supportive of our athletes, and they always write letters of recommendation to help explain how much time, like for Scott, how much time is he putting on the track team to make a difference. And he and I always joke, I said, medical schools love the athletes that are driven. I mean, how much effort you make to cut your time down by half a second. You think about that drive to be successful in a sport is the same drive that you need to be successful in your career.
Our winter sports are winding down, teams in conference tournaments, and our spring sports are firing up. It's an exciting time for the University of Maine. With that in mind, we'll take a look at the U.S. Cellular upcoming schedule. Now to a heartwarming story from the Maine women's ice hockey team, opening their arms and their locker room to a little girl named Maggie Rudnicki, who's had to overcome many obstacles in her young life, truly making her feel like she's a Black Bear.
The Black Bears' adopted teammate makes her way to the blue line.
Team Impact is an organization that hooks up different children with different needs to different sports teams. So we actually had wanted to be involved with it for a while, but you have to wait until there's actually a good fit. So last year it kind of worked out that Maggie lives in the Bangor area and she's a huge hockey fan. She'd been in Boston a lot with a lot of her medical needs and become close with some of the Bruins. But this kind of provided something that was a little closer to home for her.
Maggie is a special girl and she's a great part of our team, and she always has this infectious positivity about her. So having her out there was really awesome. Like, we all kind of remembered how much we love the game, and it was fun always seeing her smile.
I think it kind of shows what being a Black Bear is all about. You know, when you see what Maggie goes through, her energy, her attitude, her excitement for life, her love for her family, you know, she really is a symbol of what our program is all about and what we want to be about.
For her mom said that she was absolutely excited and she couldn't sleep the night before, and all she could do is talk about that. You know, obviously when she got to the rink, she was with the girls most of the time, so I didn't get to see it, you know, specifically, but her mom said that she just couldn't stop smiling, and we saw her in between periods, and for her, the coaches, you know, are a little bit scary, so she gets a little bit shy when the coaches come in, but you know, we still try and talk to her and give her high fives, and so she just looked really happy. On the bench, she was more of a silent leader and just sat there with a big smile on her face, but it was just amazing to have her there. And
they're always just really excited. Like, anytime you bring up Maggie's name, smiles come to our players' face. They're excited to see her. They have a great time with her. You know, she this summer, Maggie did our players' nails, and they do so much stuff together. And what's special about it is that me and Sarah aren't really that involved in what the team does with Maggie. Maggie and the girls really set up most of the stuff, and there's constant contact, and it's not just during the season, it's in the summer, it's in the off season, and it's a really special relationship.
It helps teach us about how much we love the game and how much that the game really is just a game. The hockey is just a game, and there's so much more going on in life that we really are blessed to be here and to see her out there with us, see her smiling. It helps us kind of get that positivity too.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Black Bear Insider. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want more information on your favorite teams, go to GoBlackBears.com. They've got you covered on anything you could possibly want to know about your favorite squad. Until we see you again, we will say, Go Black Bears.